Hello everyone, welcome to Sources Classes. This is Tushar Shaw, and in this video we will be reviewing this book from Physical Chemistry, The Molecular Approach by Donald A. McQuarrie and John D. Simon. Okay, so basically this book we normally call in layman language as McQuarrie Simon. McQuarrie Simon. This book, as I've already told you while I was reviewing the volume 4 of K.L. Kapoor Physical Chemistry, that this book, that is the Physical Chemistry, the Molecular Approach, this book has the most best quantum mechanical explanation of every chapter that can be available in any of the books that are available in the market. Okay, so basically this book is a bible for if you are like mastering your, if you are having a project in quantum mechanics, or if you are doing your PhD in quantum mechanics, or let us say just you have your elective subject in quantum mechanics and you want to give it a like detailed approach towards studying it, then this book is the perfect book for you. So basically this video is going to be taking a long time because of, you can see that almost 1300 pages of this book is there. So obviously this book has all the chapters that are there in physical chemistry. So like you can just wonder that all that we in the sixth volume, the KL Kapoor books that we had done all that information except for the computational chemistry part. All the 5 volumes are there embedded in this book itself only. Okay, like no other volumes of this book is there, and that is why it is like such, it has such high page number. Okay, so, like obviously, this book is of foreign origin. You can see that the writers who are the writers who are scientists of foreign origin. That is Donald A. Trump from the University of California, Davis, and John D. Simon from the professor of chemistry from the Duke University. Okay, now this book is printed. From the University Science Book Press that is situated in California, and that is why you can expect that this book is not quite available in the Indian market. You can get this book, the hard copy of this book, on like on a website, any book selling website, or on Flipkart or Amazon, if you might. And if you don't want the hard copy, you just want the soft copy, then what you can refer is you can either search it on Google, because hopefully this PDF can be available, like is available on Google obviously, but you have to like search a little bit, and if you find it, it will be very okay for you. So I obviously found this PDF on Google also, like when I was studying this quantum mechanics part. So that is a very difficult thing to do, but if you can find, it is okay for you. And if you do not find, and still if you want the PDF, then let me just write down the mail for you. tusharshaw9420 @gmail.com. So you can contact me in this mail, send me a mail regarding you requiring this book. So I will be definitely replying to you back and sending even this book or any other book that I have reviewed. You can you can go check out the channel Sources Classes, and like if you want any of the books that I have reviewed quite a lot of books now. I guess around 13-14 books that I have reviewed. Will be reviewing more books in the future. So for that purpose, if you want, you can contact Saurabh Classes. So he will be the staff there will be helping you as well with the books. Okay. So let us now move without like this book does not have a preface also, so that saved us quite a lot of time. Anyway, so let us move at the contents and see whether what are the like basic features that are available in this book, and from which parts we can take reference to, and obviously which part will be helping us. Okay. Now, first of all, you can see the chapter Dawn of Quantum Theory. So basically, how quantum theory arises, because we already know that quantum theory is a very latest concept, and like if you are considering the scientific revolution throughout the history, quantum mechanics has come extremely late. Okay, like it has been like it was originated just in the 20th century because of obviously Albert Einstein and scientists like Max Planck, and those people like studied some of the classical physical laws, and not every explanation can be properly given from the classical physics, and therefore they like propose the quantum theory from that perspective. Okay, so like you can see that black body radiation cannot be explained from classical physics. Okay. uh, yeah, So then we have this photoelectric effect with quantum mechanics. Einstein explained that de Broglie postulate that matter has wave-like particles. So wave duality principle we already know, proposed by de Broglie. Okay. So, and Heisenberg uncertainty principle that states particle of a momentum and position cannot be specified simultaneously with unlimited precision. Okay. So this was basically the dawn of like you may say how quantum mechanics arised from where the invention of quantum mechanics was done, why it was done. So this was explained in that chapter number 1. This chapter is explained quite properly, so it will be like very easy for you to understand and look at the basic concepts of the dawn of the quantum theory. One pro of this book that I would like to mention over here is this concept that are there: maths chapter A, complex number. You can again see math chapter B, probability and statistics. Okay, so as this book is strictly sticking to physical chemistry, a whole chunk of a big chunk of physical chemistry is dedicated to exact mathematics. Okay, so complex numbers, I is one of the concepts. Probability and statistics is also one of the concept that we simultaneously require while studying physical chemistry. Okay, so I would like to mention that address the fact that this book has done an extremely great job. The writer has done an extremely great job in providing the so all kinds of mathematical. You can when we scroll down, you can see vectors, spherical coordinates, determinants. Then we have matrices. Okay, so all kinds of physical mathematical chapters that are there in your that will be requiring physical chemistry, as well as for preparation of all kinds of competitive and non-competitive exams. These mathematical chapters can go a long way in preparation for that. You may know that from the JAM and GATE syllabuses, the physical chemistry, as I've already reviewed, you may go check that video out. So the physical chemistry part of JAM syllabus or GATE syllabus, they have a subtopic of under syllabus stating pure mathematical concepts, and there we have this complex number, determinant, matrices, in calculus, in trigonometry, integration, differentiation, all those kinds of concepts that are there included in the physical chemistry part only. And if you have gone through the JAM or GATE papers through the last year, you will be seeing that observing the trend that at least in the chemistry paper, obviously at least 2 or 3 questions will be coming from pure mathematics itself. You will be given a question from calculus, from determinants. Okay, so all kinds of questions can be available. So in if you are preparing for chemistry, obviously you won't be having normally so much time to look at the math books also. Okay, so in that purpose, this book goes a long way, because it helps us with all kinds of mathematical concept that we require for preparation, doing a very great job. Okay, so let us move on to the next chapter, which is basically the classical wave equation. So we know that how wave equation was arised from Schrodinger's formula, and the vibrating membrane. Regarding to that, the all types of three-dimensional, two-dimensional spaces that we were there. Okay, then we have from the Schrodinger equation, the particle in a box. Now this chapter is also extremely important, because maximum times the sums that arise, the derivations that arise in any competitive exam or non-competitive exam, those part are taken from the particle in a box part only. Why? Because basically this particle in a box is a kind of a complex scenario that we have, that is normally created. So therefore sums can be easily made tricky with some some calculation they have been given. So from that perspective, the sums can be really difficult, and also if you have understood the particle in a box concept, then it will be very easy for you. So so for that purpose, you need to study it quite effectively. Okay, then we have this math chapter, vectors. Vectors, I don't think vectors are basically required for people who are studying pure physics as their part, and not chemistry. So for chemistry people, I don't think vectors are so much required in their whole chemistry curriculum. Okay, then we have chapter some postulates and general principles of quantum mechanics. So these we have eigenvalues, eigenvectors, time dependent variation of Schrodinger equation, time independent variation of Schrodinger wave equation, how orthogonality works in functions. Okay, those parts. Then we have spherical coordinates. This part is you can do this part on your own, but it is also like not so much required. And when the chemistry curriculum is considered, you can just give it a go. And obviously, if you are doing BSc honors from Calcutta University or any other university in standard university around India, you will be having math as your general subject, and in those chapters you will be already completing those vectors and spherical coordinates parts also. Okay, so that is not a big problem. Then we have the harmonic oscillator and the rigid rotor spectroscopic models. So in the CN Banwell book that I reviewed few days back, so if you might, you may go check that video out also. So from in that chapter I already explained that all those kinds of formulas that were there, the explanation in that book were perfect, the formulas were perfect, the numericals that were given were also perfect. The only thing that was missing in that book was derivations, from where the exact formula that we are taking was derived. Okay, so this book solves the problem for that. Okay, so all like the rotational spectrum formula, which include the rotational constant, that formula was derived from the quantum mechanical calculations from Schrodinger wave equation. That those derivations are not were not included in that book, but obviously it is included in this book only. Okay, then we have harmonic oscillator, anharmonic oscillator, Hermite polynomials. Okay, the how Hooke's law is derived from the for the IR spectra. So all these kind of stuffs were like explained in this book properly. So if you want, you may just check this out. Okay, then we have this hydrogen atom. Basically it's one of the most important chapter from the for quantum mechanics. So why it is important? Because the concepts of quantum mechanics that we have learned, like from the basic, from the dawn to the Schrodinger wave equation and its applications, how can we apply this Schrodinger wave equation for like any specific atom that we know of? Okay, and we know that hydrogen is the most simplest atom that exists on the periodic table. So huge amount of studies was initially done on the hydrogen atom, and then it was correlated with the other atoms also. Okay, so from the for the hydrogen atom, the s orbitals were the structure of s orbitals were plotted and derived, and again then from that the other elements having p orbitals, those kind of structures were derived. Okay, so these are the like exact things that were represented. Now uh, like for the one problem arises when the Schrodinger wave equation for the helium atom cannot be solved exactly. Why exactly? Because Schrodinger wave equation comes in many forms, and like initially in those days, the for multi-electronic system, the Schrodinger wave equation that was there initially was not so much effective in solving. Okay, in solving problems for related multi-electronic systems. Okay, so that is why, but it is now defined and much more defined and much more used extensively, so that here you can see the chapter multi electronic system, so we'll be going with that. So next we have the determinant chapter, which is extremely important if you are a chemistry student, because determinants like is one of the chapters which obviously you know that determinants help us solving in sorting wave equations and multi electronic systems, and you know that in group theory huge amount of determinant calculation is there. Okay, so if you are studying chemistry, group determinant part is extremely important, and to be frank, determinant is like a very easy chapter, and you won't be requiring so much time for studying this. Okay, then we have this approximation methods of quantum mechanics. So this is apart from the Schrodinger wave equation, we introduced another approach of dealing with the quantum mechanical calculation, that is the variational method. Okay, from this variational method, huge amount of multi-electronic system formulas can be solved, which was not possible because of the Schrodinger wave equation. So that like this is basically a formula based on statistics and probability, and that is why trial functions is a thing. Okay, another formula is perturbation theory. So these three quantum mechanical derivations that you need to know of is first of all the Schrodinger wave equation and its derivations, the variational method, and the perturbation theory. Okay, so then we have this multi-electronic atoms, which is basically from the derivations of perturbation theory and variational method. Okay, so it can yield. Yes, as I was saying that the wave functions for asymmetric centers of any two electrons, the hat trick for calculation, the term symbol. Basically, this is one of the most important rules that was derived from the variational method and the perturbation theory. the term symbols which which is used in many calculations in the group theory. So that is one of the parts. Then we have this chemical bond diatomic molecules from the obviously the Born Oppenheimer approximation, very famous, from the Schrodinger, simplified the Schrodinger wave equation for molecules. From this we have arrived at the molecular orbital theory, MOT. From that, the stability of a chemical bond is predicted. Then we like from MOT we are studying different kinds of diatomic molecules like helium, or like how H2 molecule, H2 plus molecule. Okay, then we have this LCAO method also arrived, that is the linear combination of atomic orbitals theory. Okay, from there the molecular orbitals are formed, and then we have the molecular term symbols. Most of the molecules have excited states. Moving on, we have bonding in polyatomic molecules. So basically, hybrid orbitals account for the molecular shape, how the polyatomic molecules bind towards each other. What are the quantum mechanical calculations? Let us say, for example, BH2 and H2O. Why are they bent? Okay, we obviously we know why are they bent because of the VSEPR theory. We know what is hybridization and those stuff, but the derivation for hybridization itself is brought upon from the quantum mechanical calculations. Okay, how conjugated hydrocarbons and aromatic hydrocarbons can be treated as a pi electron approximation. Butadiene is stabilized by delocalization in energy. So these concepts, like we have understood these concepts in organic chemistry, because we know that these are the organic molecules, and we have to study them separately in organic chemistry. But the quantum mechanical way of seeing the electronic way of seeing all these questions, or solving all these questions, is a very new thing to us. Okay, then we have this computational or quantum chemistry. This chapter is not so big of a chapter, because as I've already told you, if you want to study computational chemistry, that KL Kapoor volume 6 is the best book. Okay, now from here the computational quantum chemistry, it like we may just understand the fact that how modern computers hold up the quantum mechanical calculations. Okay, there is a thing known as in our newest inventions, you already know the fact that quantum computers is a thing. Okay, quantum computers is a thing. Quantum computing. So this is like this is they are obviously quantum computing is in making, but they are expecting the speed and the abilities to do task from a regular computer to be 100,000 times fast in a quantum computer. Okay, so that is why we can expect that is why quantum chemistry is such of great use, obviously. So let us move on. Then we have matrices. So matrices is also one of the most important chapters that we have in the mathematics syllabus. So like determinants, it will be obviously useful for you for solving certain chemistry aspects. So it will be like very important for you if you take the chapter seriously. Okay. Then we have the group theory. So group theory is one of the most important chapters, but I don't like this chapter so much because it is very extremely difficult to understand. Like among all these chapters that are there in this book, group theory took the most time. Like I took the most time from group theory so as to like get a hold of this book only, this chapter only. Okay. So basically, how symmetry can predict so many calculations and so many like derivations from that. So that part is explained in group theory. So you can see the symmetry in molecules, point group can be formed, then reducible representation is formed, then several mathematical calculations involve the character of the reducible representations. Okay, from there the LCO have been derived, SALs have been derived, linear combination of atomic orbitals. Okay. Then we have this molecular spectroscopy. So basically, we have already introduced the chapter spectroscopy in the earlier in this video, in the earlier chapters. So first of all, the spectroscopy that we have is firstly the introduction of electromagnetic spectroscopy, spectrum in the different ways of interacting with molecules. Then we have vibrational techniques. Then we have rotational techniques. Then overtones in vibrational spectra, the Frank-Condon principle. Then we have the rotational spectra of a polyatomic molecule that depend on certain factors. Okay. Then we have the selection rules, the selection rule in a rigid rotor, this rule basically. Okay. Then we have group theory is used to determine the infrared activity of normal coordinate vibration. So from group theory also, this derivation is derived for molecular for different kinds of vibration that are occurring via IR radiation. Okay. So then we have nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, which is NMR. Okay. So this basically is related to the spin of the protons or the electrons that we are considering. Okay. So different types of spectrophotometers, the concepts between them are given. The how shielding of atoms or nuclei take place, how spin coupling takes place. Okay. Now the n+1 rule applies for only not only to the physical spectra for first order spectra. Okay, and how the second order spectra can be calculated from the variational method. All these concepts are quite properly given. Then we have this laser and laser spectroscopy and photochemistry part. So basically, laser spectroscopy is not such of a distinguished thing. So it is a continuation of the normal spectroscopy part. The next thing that is very important and from the part that normally fetches you sums and marks is photochemistry. Okay. So basically, photochemistry, you know that Lambert-Beer's law and those formulas for calculating the molar extinction coefficient, or you can see all those kinds of calculations. Those can be those are like extremely important for any competitive or non-competitive exam that you are preparing of, and obviously those will be proven useful in your future, obviously. Okay. So then we have this numerical methods. This is also extremely important because this involves the normal numerical methods and algebra in this case. So and algebra is required in any branch of science basically. Okay, be it physics, chemistry, or even zoology, botany, anything or any branch of science that you have which is considered as a science branch. Even geography also. Those have calculations regarding some all kinds of different data. So that involves numerical methods and algebra too. Okay. Then we have this properties of gases. So up till here we were studying quantum mechanical things. Okay. Now let us normally move into the normal concept, that is basically which are explained from the normal classical mechanics, that is real gases and ideal gases. How gases and liquids all obey the cubic equation of state. What are the virial equation for your terms? What are the London dispersion forces, Leonard-Jones potential, and obviously the van der Waals constants in the van der Waals equation. Okay. Then we have the mathematical concept partial differentiation, which is extremely important. Like I cannot emphasize more on the fact that partial differentiation is the most important topic that you will be learning for in mathematics for chemistry. Okay. Like partial differentiation, the whole of thermodynamics is based on partial differentiation. Okay. So basically you need to learn all those from concepts from here only. You don't need to follow any book for that. Okay. Then we have this molecular Boltzmann factor partition function. Okay. So basically this is also a continuation of the thermodynamics part. And obviously it is derived from the statistical thermodynamics. What is the Boltzmann constant? What is the heat capacity at constant volume derived from average energy? Okay, partition function at some independent function, partition function that of indistinguishable atoms. Okay, so all these kinds of things are there. Then we have another mathematical chapter which is also one of the most important things, the series and limits, though not as important as partial differentiation, but I must the chapter that I am writing important, you must go through all of them and practice all of them. Okay. Then we have the partition function and ideal gases. So basically, how ideal gases behave let us say the spectroscopic in electromagnetic spectrum. What will be their way of interacting? What will the calculation regarding that? All of that part is explained in this partition function and ideal gas part. Chapter. You can see the rotational partition function contains the symmetry number. Most molecules excited at rotational state at higher temperatures. Okay. Then we have this calculated molar heat capacity is very good agreement with experimental data. So all those kind of stuffs are explained. Then we have the first law of thermodynamics. Now the first law of thermodynamics I have explained quite a lot of times in many of the books I have reviewed. So I don't think I'll be required, if you're for a student of quantum thermodynamics by now, or if you're studying it regularly on a regular basis, it will be the contents are basically marked out for you right now. Okay, so I don't think you will be requiring extra time for like solving or like seeing on the concepts of thermodynamics excessively, so so that you may have a good look at it, because already you know all these concepts. Okay, the same things are there: the first law, the diabatic process, isothermal process, then enthalpy change, heat capacity, the heats of a reaction basically, the Kirchhoff law, and thermochemistry. All these concepts, the first law of thermodynamics, very easy. Okay, then we have the binomial distribution, which is important, but Stirling's approximation not so much important for chemistry. So just the binomial distribution is important. So you must go to that part. Okay. Then we have entropy in the second law of thermodynamics. Again, this part is also like we have done it so many times that it almost it might be mugged up for you. Okay, so how the efficiency of a Carnot cycle is calculated. What is the second law of thermodynamics? How like energy, what is entropy? How it is related to disorderness or chaos? Okay, then we have the insight of conversion of heat into work. Then we have this statistical thermodynamics calculation, S is equal to KBL and W. Okay. Huh. Then we have the entropy and the third law of thermodynamics, basically which involves the Gibbs free energy and the Helmholtz free energy. Okay. So obviously they have another chapter for that. You can see that this chapter is not so much big, from 853 to 869. So basically 16 pages. Okay. So a chapter cannot be of 16 pages. Other than that, if you are like giving any extra thoughts for the chapter. Okay. So phase transitions are explained, calorimetry is explained, the best values of standard entropies depend on molecular mass and molecular structure, like it has been quite properly explained. Okay. Then we have the Helmholtz and Gibbs energy. Now I cannot emphasize more on the fact that this is basically the most important chapter that you have in your thermodynamic syllabus. Okay, so like what is the spontaneity of the of a thermodynamic process? What will be the let us say the some thermodynamics, what are the formulas that we can use, what are the that Maxwell's relations, all those kind of stuff for calculating all kinds of variable values that are like given in extreme various amounts of sums in your getting competitive or non-competitive exams. So you must study this chapter, that is chapter number 22, with high details and extremely good quality. Okay. Then we have the phase equilibria chapter. I guess the book is almost completed. Yeah, so only 2 or 3 pages are there. So then we have this phase equilibria, not a very good, not a very big chapter, because the only thing important here is the Clausius-Capelon equation and things related to the phase diagram. Okay. Then we have the chemical equilibrium. So chemical equilibrium is basically a continuation of thermodynamics in thermochemistry, basically, like in consideration of the fact that equilibrium constant is one of the thing that that is there in a chemical equation. Okay, and from that equilibrium constant we will be deriving out certain thermodynamic calculations from that part. Okay. So you can see that standard gauge energy formation used to calculate the equilibrium constants. We have the reaction quotient for the equilibrium constant, determine the direction of the reaction, signs of delta G and delta G naught. What is the Van Hoff equation? How the partition functions and the tabulated. Okay, thermodynamic equilibrium constants are expressed in terms of activity. So this part is also quite important. What is activity? How it is related to the concentration term or the pressure term? You have to just write it down. Okay. Then we have the kinetic theory of gases. So this is basically this chapter was basically out to be there in when the gases chapter was explained, that is the ideal and the real gas. But though it is there given here, we will have to accept that. So the main part of this chapter is the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution formula. Okay, the graphs related to that, then collision frequency, the obviously the wall collision frequency, the mean free path, and the distance traveled by the molecules. Okay, so all these chapters are quite properly explained. I don't think you will be facing any problem regarding that. Okay. Then we have chemical kinetics part 1, which involves rate laws. So rate laws, what are rate laws? How they can be determined experimentally? What is the order of the reaction? How can the rate law depend on different concentration and temperature? The transition state theory that can be used to estimate the rate law. Okay. Then we have chemical kinetics 2, which is basically reaction mechanics. Okay, so how a complex chemical reaction is completed? What which one is the rate determining step? Which step is the slowest step? Which one is the fastest step? Okay, you can monitor each and every step of that. Why intermediate concentration is always zero in overall reaction? What is Lindemann equation? What is the collision theory? How catalyst affects in activation energy of a chemical reaction? What is the Michel-Menten equation? Extremely important. Okay. Huh. So yeah. So then we have the gas phase reaction dynamics. So basically, this chapter is also not so much important. So I would like to just leave this chapter on its own, and I won't be reviewing it because I don't think this chapter would be like quite enough required for you. Okay. The next chapter, the last chapter of this book is that is solid state and surface chemistry. Okay. Now, solid state. First of all, we have this Miller indices, the X-ray diffraction formulas, the structure of electron density in a crystal, how like Fourier transformation used to calculate the electron density. These were all about solid state chemistry. For surface chemistry, we have the Friese option, chemi option. We have the isotherms related to Frederick and Langmuir adsorption isotherm. Surface catalyzed reactions in a gas phase. Okay, how can the reaction of N2 and H22 make an H3 can be surface catalyzed? This is basically Bosch process. Haber's process, sorry, not Bosch process. Haber's process. Okay, now uh, so let us like this was all about the contents of the topics of this book. Now obviously, as I've already told you in my earlier videos, why I keep my focus in the contents and the topic more than the book, because we are studying the topic related discussion. We are not just giving a book a read or something. We need to take information and data and obviously concepts from this book, and for that purpose you need to know what are the contents of this book, so that you can point out and reach at the certain page number, so that you can take the concept from that page only. Okay, and from obviously that pages, these are very bizarre conversations, but that is how reading a book works. Okay, and I would like to keep it that way, and that is why concepts regarding all these things I have normally explained it. Okay, now let us move on to the normal book. Okay, what are the things that are given, and I'll be just mentioning. Obviously the book of 1300 pages won't be possible to just scroll and show it to you all, and that is a very absurd thing to do, so I won't be doing. If you want to have a look at the book, I'll be sending you the PDF. You can check the PDF out. Other than that, yeah, I'll be just explaining to you the pros and cons of the body of this book, and then we'll be ending this video. Okay, so the preface, the first and foremost cons of this book is the preface is given after the contents, which is normally not done. Okay, like per topic, for if you are writing a book, the first page will be the introduction, the second page would be having the printing press data, the third page would be having the acknowledgement and the preface, then the contents, then the chapter will be starting. This is the normal book trend, but here you can see that preface is given after the contents, which is basically not a good decent thing to do. Okay, so acknowledgements we have. So you can see that the dawn of the quantum theory is explained, like it is like quite expensively explained, and also one of the cons that I would like, pros that I would like to mention is, you can see that calculations are given in accordance with the all the all the formula that were there in the book that were being explained. Regarding that, all kinds of calculations are explained in this book. Okay, so you can see that one formula was explained, that is this one, and then they have given a example regarding that, so that student may understand how to use this formula, and like how to apply this formula in solving sums. Okay, so that is one of the one biggest pros of this book that I would that I have mentioned. So like keep in mind that, and obviously solve accordingly.